What's good, everybody? This is the one and only GM, and today I'm gonna react to Main Man's Sweden's opinion about Lee Chalan. I'm not gonna react to this whole tier list, and the reason why, it's way too long. It's over an hour of him reacting to every single character in the game, and it's just way too long. So I'm just gonna react to what he said about Lee Chalan, and then I'm gonna put my 2 cents into it, and yeah, and that'll be the end of the video. So that's what I'm gonna decide to do in this video. So yeah, let's see what he says about Lee Chalan in this video.
So before I hit record, I made this. It's so cool and appropriate. I made this category here below B. It's called trash, and on purpose I made it silver.
I'm done.
Because of one character, he has silver hair.
I'm done. He made a trash category, and he colored it silver to represent Lee because he got silver hair too. I'm super done. All right, let's keep watching.
And all of his attacks are called Silver Cyclone, Silver Tail, Silver Heel, and I'm of course talking about our boy Lee.
Yeah, everything is silver tail, silver heel, silver meat, silver joint, all that stuff. Pretty funny.
He is by a mile and a half, and then an iceberg on top of that, and then the Titanic on top of that, the worst character in the game, in my opinion. And
damn, he said by far the worst character in the game. It's kind of getting kind of ham, to be real with you, because like a lot of people are saying he's the worst. Like Main Man, a bunch of known players on Twitter, Arslan Ash also said that Lee is terrible. It's just a note. It's just a big thing in the community where everybody's saying that Lee is super bad. So I'm sure like the last hope is obviously the June patch. So we will see what they do with that one. It's in a few weeks anyway.
that's not to say that he doesn't have stuff. If you press into him, or if you're ever unsafe, he can really fuck you up.
All right. So on that note, like you see how he said how if you press into him, he could really like beat you up. The thing with season 2 Lee is that the health bar is being increased. His counter hit damage is really weak right now. Is really weak. So even if you get hit on counter hit by him, it's gonna kind of like tickle you. It's not like getting hit on counter hit by like like Steve or Brian or Clive or somebody like that. Any character with like strong counter hit damage, or you getting launched by like Oscar or June or Jack. Like if he hits you on counter hit, it's kind of like whatever. And plus, Oki was neutralized in Tekken 8, right? So it's not like before, like in Tekken 6, where he could hit you on counter hit and then get an Oki set up afterwards. Now it's kind of like one of those things. He hits you on counter hit, and then he blasts you away, and then it resets neutral again, right? And also, since the health bar is big too, acid rain doesn't really hurt like that no more. So, but I get what he's saying. Like Lee's only effective if you're able to hit on counter hit a lot. You got to hit on counter hit a lot now because of how low the damage is.
But if you're a top level player and you have strong defense and patience, Lee is done. Honestly, if you ever see...
Alright, so what he means by that Lee is done if you a top player have strong defense, it's because Lee doesn't really have anything strong to really open you up. He doesn't have any knockdown lows. All his like pokes and like chip damage stuff is all steppable, lack range. So you don't really need to eat anything with Lee. And if he does hit you with stuff, it's more of a annoyance rather than something that's like cheap was going to do a lot of damage. He has to hit you a lot. So since he's linear and a lot of his lows like down 3 and back 3 and slide are launch punishable, he has to take big risks to open you up. And then his chip damage stuff is all highs. So and all highs and they can't track. So it's like you could step a lot of stuff and duck. So that's what he means by that.
Lee in a top 8, I'm gonna eat up one of my underwear. And I'm gonna eat 2 toilet paper rolls live on stream, god damn it.
I'm done. That makes me want to get top 8 at a major if he's gonna do all that, because I would love to see that. Him eating toilet paper and stuff on live on stream, that would be fire. Oh my god.
And then Alyssa...
Alright, so basically, he didn't really get too into depth, but Lee's biggest issue is mostly just his damage is really, really low for the amount of risk and amount of work he has to put. Like, obviously, if everybody did the same damage as him, the game will be a lot better. But it's just a damage thing. I think if he did more damage for pokes and like his counter hit stuff did more damage, it would be better. But he has to do too many reads just to do a low amount of damage on everything, right? So that's the main issue. They could easily fix him and make him better, you know. So we will have to wait till the first week of June. Obviously, them just adding a bunch of plus frame stuff is not really like solving Lee's weakness. It's just mostly just like, like in season 1, he obviously didn't have a damage issue when it came to combos and stuff. Like, because he did a lot of damage already, right? But increasing the health bar and stuff lowered his damage. So, like, the only thing he really had was damage, right? But now that he doesn't have damage, it's kind of rough. But he does have heat now. It's just his heat moves are not really that great. Especially down 1+2. Down 1+2 is horrible. Down forward 3+4 is all right. But they will need to make it so the opponent could be a little bit closer to Lee, so he could get guaranteed damage all the time and not sometimes. Because sometimes the follow-up doesn't reach, and sometimes the opponent could side roll and stuff like that. So, like now he has heat. That's why I say, with the down forward 3+4, down 1+2, down forward 3-2-3. He definitely got heat. He definitely got heat options. So it's not hard for them to make him good. So this is the difference between season 1 and season 2 Lee. Season 1 Lee had good damage, but he had no heat. Season 2 Lee has heat, but everything else got nerfed. So it's kind of like this, right? Obviously, people prefer season 1 Lee because damage is better than heat. Having good damage is better than heat. Because at least if you hit somebody on counter hit or hit somebody with while saying 2-3, that's kind of the end of the round. Now, if you hit somebody on counter hit or hit somebody with while saying 2-3, you're not gonna kill them. You're just gonna do like some chip damage type stuff, So that's why I said, man, if it was like season 1 Lee just with his new heat moves, he'll be really good. But he will also still have the same weaknesses, like sidestepping left and things of that nature. So if it was another Tekken game, Lee would be solid, but he obviously has his issues with 1+2 and things of that nature. Not because of the movement in the game, stuff like 1+2 is easier to backdash, and a lot of Lee stuff whiffs. The 4-4-3 nerf, I don't understand why they did that to Lee. It makes no sense. That move has always had pushback and always did decent damage, but they nerfed the damage a lot of his key moves. 4-4-3 back 4. I don't think those moves needed damage nerfs. I don't think he needed damage nerfs in general, and everybody does mad damage in this game. So I don't really know like why they balanced him like that. And then down 2, not crushing all highs, like that move is supposed to be broken. Like, come on, man, that's his identity. Down 2 crushing highs is something he's always had. And, people would have complained about it more before, because in Tekken 7, he got a full combo, but the combo was hard to do, right? And then in Tekken 6, it was like a crumple stun. But you could hold forward and break it, right? So, another thing, too, that Lee doesn't have that puts him in a lot worse situation than everybody else, he doesn't have an install. Characters like Claudio, Asuka, Brian, Safina, June, Heihachi, all these characters have Brian, Eddie, all these characters have this cheesy install mechanic that makes their moves stronger and stronger. When they go into heat, they get the install, or when they do certain moves, they get an install. I think any character with that is mad cheap, because they basically get like heat properties once they install is like max, right? Or you could just go into heat and they automatically get install. It's really, really cheap, and I think any character that doesn't have that is at a big disadvantage. So that's what the thing with season 1 Lee. Like, people say he was top tier, but 1, he didn't have no installs, and 2, he had no heat. So he was just solid. He was just like B. He has potential to be a character if they fix him, give him an install, give him an easier guard break to do, because mistrap is hard to do. You're not really gonna hit nobody with that. It's a telegraphed high, right? And they took out the Oki from that too, so You don't get 443. You don't get Acid Storm on the back anymore. Like, this game is just in a weird place, and it's kind of rough to play competitively. I think it's fun to play for fun, but trying to be the best player in this game is kind of silly to me. But you know, they just need a. I agree. They shouldn't just keep buffing characters. They should just make characters that already have an issue, buff them a little bit, and then like the top tier should get nerfed. You know, because Clive is still really strong. I think Steve is way too strong right now. I think Brian is way too strong right now. So there's a lot of characters in this game that are way too strong. And like the bear got nerfed, so that's good. Because the bear was pretty broken, right? So they nerfed the bear even more. And I think that's fine, right? I think Fang is a little bit too strong. So that's the thing with this game. Everybody has different opinions about this game. And, you know, the game is going to keep changing. That's another thing. The game is already going to change again the first week of June. So, like I said, man, this tier list, any tier list that we made, I made a tier list. Y'all could go and watch it. It's going to change again in a couple of weeks. So, let me know what y'all thought about this video. Just a little discussion. I just wanted to go to the Lee part and talk about Lee because this is a long video. So, but yeah, guys, be sure to do my sponsor. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all the next time I do a video like this. Peace out, take care, and laters.